Welcome, everybody. Good morning. We are about to get started. Let me check the chat because I'm going to read and see. So start entering. So welcome, everybody, to another live episode of QRA Live with me, Jimmy Yan, aka the AcuSensei. And I thought I'd be doing this because so many of y'all enjoy the reels, the shorts that I do on all of our social media platforms. And I figured I'd do this live so that if you're struggling with a current health issue, I could give you some QRA, quick restorative acupressure live, right? So because we get so many questions, like my latest post on hot flashes, we've got hundreds of thousands of posts, questions about, okay, what can I do for this problem? What can I do for this problem, right? So that's why I'm doing this QRA live on Sundays, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So type into the chat, what chronic what health condition are you struggling with that you need help with, and that you would like me to show you a QRA that can help. Now, it's not going to fix it. It's not going to 100% fix it, but it can help possibly alleviate some of your symptoms and actually start the process of moving blood to that specific diseased organ or diseased area of your body, so that it can start healing. So start typing in the chat, and I will go through the chat, and one by one, I'll show you based on what you're typing in. But of course, I got to start off with a disclaimer. I am not a medical doctor. I am not trained to prescribe medications and to do surgery. That's what medical doctors are trained to do. I am trained in traditional Chinese medicine and restorative longevity. It's something that I've coined. It's different from longevity. It's restorative longevity, where it's focused on restoring function. So don't before you do anything, okay? Don't say, "Oh, hey, I saw the AcuSensei told me I just got to press here and it things will, go magically go away." No, that's not what I'm saying. I am saying that you need to check with your physician before you do anything. The things that I show you are just things that I personally do myself, or the techniques that we use. We help our patients in our clinic at Achieve Integrative Health. Okay, so go ahead, type into the chat. Let me just make sure. What chronic health condition are you struggling with? And we will tackle one at a time. Okay. Um, And while I'm waiting for everybody to type in what they're struggling with, I'm going to go ahead and just start talking about where we left off. Actually, I'll talk about the hot flashes that I just did a reel on. So the hot flashes, since I have a little more time to explain everything, because the reels are 60 seconds, right? And so it's hard for me to really explain everything. So hot flashes, especially for women who are going through perimenopause and menopause. Now, let me also add in, can kids, can young adults have hot flashes? Absolutely. Hot flashes are not just for women who have perimenopause and many men or going through menopause. Okay, hot flashes signify a hormonal imbalance. Now, you may think, okay, so if hot flashes are due to a hormone imbalance, does that mean I just need to balance my hormones? Yes, in a sense, but that's not the root cause. And this is where, traditional medicine, they stop right here. They stop right here and they give you, first they give you synthetic hormones to balance the hormones, because they think you have hot flashes. Hot flashes are due to hormone imbalance. So if we just give you hormones to balance your hormones, your hot flashes will go away, right? And for many women, it does, right? And so why do I say it's not fixing the root cause? Because here's the thing. If you take away these hormones, your hot flashes are still there. If these medications truly addressed your hot flashes, they really truly addressed the root cause, they truly fixed the root cause. If you take them away, your body should be able to balance your hormones by itself again, right? But as with every medication, when you take the medication away, your body, the problem you are struggling with, it comes right back, right? And so that's the thing with hot flashes, right? We're solving the root cause. So it's really not solving the root cause. So then you guys think, okay, so if balancing my hormones is not the root cause, then what is the root cause? Well, the root cause is what is causing, one of the possible root causes, what is causing your hormones to be imbalanced? Now, for many women that are in perimenopause stage, they have hysterectomies, or they remove their ovaries and their uterus for whatever reason. So now you don't have the organs that normally produce the sex hormones that help you balance your hormones. That's why you have the hot flashes, right? So if you have had surgery, you remove your uterus, you remove the organs that produce sex hormones in your body, no wonder you're in menopause. No wonder you're having all these symptoms. And here's another thing, I'm gonna caveat a little. Menopause is not a disease. Menopause should just be a transition. You should feel nothing during menopause. Even though it is common for many women to experience hot flashes, night sweats, insomnia, vaginal dryness as they get older, past their 50s, right? Even though it is common, it is not normal. Just because your whole family of women have transitioned and they've had the hot flashes, all those symptoms, does not make it normal. It is not normal. Okay. And I know your physician, oh, everybody has it. Well, if everybody jumps off a bridge, does that make it normal for everybody else to jump off a bridge? No, it doesn't, right? And so what is normal? Normal is as a woman transitions past, into perimenopause and menopause, these are just transitions. They're not diseases. You should feel nothing. You should feel zero change. That is what's normal. Now, what is normal is not common because most women, if they take birth control pills earlier on, birth control pills, just disrupt. They disrupt your organ function and they can cause a lot of hormonal imbalance, even though they're there to regulate your hormones, right? But again, so coming back to what's the cause of hormone imbalance? Hormonal imbalance, when you have the hormonal imbalance, then what is causing it? Well, it is if you don't have the organs, we already know. You remove the organs. That's why you have hormonal imbalance. But let's say you still have your organs, but you still have the hot flashes and night sweats, and insomnia and vaginal dryness, constipation, dry skin, all of those perimenopause symptoms, right? Your skin is wrinkly and dry. Well, that is an organ dysfunction. So then you have to understand, well, okay, my doctor told me that when I get older, my age, when I get older, that my uterus and my ovaries naturally produce less sex hormones. And they're absolutely true. That is absolutely true. But what they don't tell you is that you also have a third organ that helps you produce your sex hormones to help you through that transition. What is that third organ? It's called the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are the third organ that produces sex hormones. That's for men too, right? They produce our testosterone. So the third organ is your adrenal glands. The adrenal glands help produce sex hormones. Therefore, your uterus and your ovaries, when their function decreases, they're producing less and less sex hormones. Your adrenal glands help come in and help. So that's how you get that hormonal balance as you transition through perimenopause and menopause. Okay. So for those of y'all who are jumping in, this is a QRA live. I'm just going over hot flashes, but if you have a specific health condition you want help with, you want a quick restorative acupressure, type into the chat and then I will show you one, okay? But I'll wait for you to type in, but in the meantime, I'm going to continue to explain the hot flashes. So the hot flashes, so if it's your adrenal glands, then all you have to do is help restore the function of your adrenal glands. Now, the function of where are your adrenal glands? Your adrenal glands sit on top of your kidneys. In Chinese medicine, 3,000 years ago, they just kind of classified the whole kidney system. It's a system. They classify the whole kidney system, including the adrenal glands. So if you do things that help your kidney function, it will also help your adrenal gland function. Okay. And so if you, the adrenal glands, why are they then you have to ask, okay, why are they dysfunctioning? Right? Because now we're going back to really the root cause. What caused your adrenal glands to dysfunction? This is what I'm doing for the hot flashes to determine the root cause. This should be done for every single ailment, every single health complaint, every single health struggle you currently have. This is how it should be done to find the root cause. Now, of course, unless if you don't care about the root cause and you just want to take a pill and you don't want to have to change anything in your lifestyle, you don't want to have to change anything you eat, then of course you don't need to worry about any of this. Okay. This is for people who are tired of taking pills and they're just like they don't want to they're getting these side effects or they don't want to be dependent upon this medication because the definition of a medication is you have a side effect. Guaranteed. You may not think you experience a side effect, you get a side effect. Every time you take any medication, you get a side effect. But these are for, so if you don't want to take medication, you want to actually fix the problem. And fixing the problem, and according to my definition, is getting your body to balance the hormones again, your body to fix itself again. Okay. And so what causes your adrenal glands to get imbalanced in the first place? Stress. Three types of stress: physical, chemical, and emotional. Physical stress, chemical stress, and emotional stress. Physical stress is if you work out too much or you don't work enough. Okay. Good morning, Dolores. Um, those of y'all who are jumping in, I'm doing a QRA live. I'm just, explaining something right now, but if you have something that you want help with, a quick restorative acupressure, type into the live chat, and I will show you some QRA to help you move blood and to address some of the health conditions that you're experiencing right now. So type into the chat what you want help with, okay? And I'll just continue to finish explaining the hot flashes while I'm waiting. So adrenal glands, stress, three types of stress: physical stress, chemical stress, and emotional stress. These type of things, these stresses cause your adrenal glands to dysfunction. So I was talking about physical stress. Physical stress is not enough exercise or too much exercise. The problem with today with people trying to lose weight is they do too much exercise. And so they damage their adrenal glands. So even if their exercise, they do their CrossFit, they do their P90X, they do their, Orange Theory, even though they may be successful in losing weight, they're disrupting their hormones. They're killing their adrenal glands, which is causing more problems. When you cause a dysfunction in your adrenal glands, it not only causes disruption in your sex hormones, can cause your hormone problems, but it can also cause insomnia problems. It can cause, if you have irritability, you have anxiety, you have depression, that can all be made worse because your adrenal glands are dysfunctioning. Okay. You don't have enough energy, um, all because you worked out too much. Okay. So is there a set formula for how much you can or cannot exercise? And can you apply that formula to every single person? My short answer is no, because everybody's body's condition, organ function condition is different. And so you can't. Right? You have to analyze, you have to assess individualistic. And that's the thing about medicine. Medicine, one thing they try to do is, and which is to save people, they try to put everybody in one box, right? And so if they put everybody in one box, they can just give everybody the same solution, the same pill, the same prescription. Okay, everybody needs to work out 1 hour, needs to do P90X, Orange Theory curves for 1 hour every single day. Well, that doesn't work for everybody, right? And actually, it could hurt other people. So that's a physical stress. Physical stress is also if you sit on your butt on your couch for extended time, Okay. If you sit on your butt for and you don't exercise, that's also physical stress on your body. And that also damages your adrenal glands. Okay. And so next is okay, Dolores needs help with tinnitus. Okay, I will come back to you really quick, Dolores. Let me just finish my topic, my explanation. So I've told about physical stress, now I'm about chemical stress. Chemical stress is anything you put in your mouth, on your skin. All of these create chemical stress, which can damage your adrenal glands. And remember, we're talking about hot flashes, perimenopause, menopause. You damage your adrenal glands, you will have a terrible perimenopause and menopause. Okay. So chemical stress is what you put in your mouth. This is the reason why diet is so important. Why the food you eat, the drinks, all what you do, is super important. Because if you don't do the right things, you're causing damage to your adrenal glands, which will cause a hormonal imbalance. Okay. The last thing is emotional stress. Emotional stress is basically, it's kind of like what it sounds like, emotional stress, right? People stressing you out, you getting stressed over situations, right? That emotional stress damages your adrenal glands, right? And so uh, for women, especially, you have to be very careful with this emotional stress because I've known many women and we've seen many women in our clinic at Achieve Integrative Health. They eat right, they exercise great, but guess what? They still develop like fibroids in their uterus, polyps, PCOS, um, just fibroids elsewhere, right? Tumors elsewhere because of emotional stress. Now, emotional stress, you can say, okay, oh, it's my husband, it's my wife, it's my kids are stressing me out, right? And that may be true, but how do you fix that? You fix it by changing the way that you interpret data. That's what I usually say. So you can't control how other people react. What you can control is how you respond to how other people react. So even though your kids, your spouse may be stressing you out, how you deal with it will affect you physically. Okay. So those are the three stresses. But now I'm going to come back. For those of y'all just joining in, type in the health condition you want help with. This is actually a QRA live, quick restorative acupressure live. So I'm going to, Dolores was the first one. She needs still help with tinnitus. She did my Dumbo ears. Okay. Dolores, so it sounds like they didn't help that much. Okay. So tinnitus, again, is ringing, humming, high pitch, low pitch. Um, most can tinnitus be caused by an inner ear problem? Absolutely, they can be. So that's why you want to go into an ENT, ear, nose, and throat doctor, have them check out your ear to see if the cause is a structural problem. If it is a structural problem, then there's not really much you can do to fix it 100%. You can do my QRA and it help alleviate some of it, but it won't fix it, right? And then probably there isn't, at least I don't know of any fix if there is a structural damage to your inner ear. Now, the tinnitus I'm going to address is a disconnect. When your brain is not connected to your ear, like the connection is not smooth, then you're going to have a short circuit reaction. And then your short circuit reaction is that brain hearing those high pitch and ringing crickets in your ear. So how can we address that? So I did the Dumbo ears, right? Let me just go back for those of you who were not on didn't watch the reel, the Dumbo ears, the knee part is correlated to your ears. Okay, it's your eyes. This is like reflects your eye area, this level. So what you want to do is you want to find tender spots around here. And first you want to start find on the bone. That's usually where it's more tender. And you want to find that tender spot. Like mine's really tender here. And so I would press right here. You can do the Dumbo ears, right? You're going to just massage, right? On the area that is tender, right? When you're having the ringing, when you're having the tinnitus. And because in the back of your ear, why on the bone? Because the bone back here, right? this is actually another, this is a possible, this is like an acupressure. Okay. It's not really QRA. It's like an acupressure. So one thing, whatever ear, plug one ear and see which ear you are having the ringing. And if it's like this is my left ear, if it's my left ear, there's a bone back here, okay? It's called mastoid process, but you don't need to know that. You're going to just press on it. Press on a tender spot here. You can do this, and this might help. So Dolores, why don't you press, find the ear that is ringing, and find the bone behind the ear and find a tender spot and press. Hold it, you know, for 30 seconds ideally, and it has to be sore, and then let go. And then listen. See if that ringing is still there. So you can do it for the ear, right? Go up and down, up and down. There's a bone right here. It's part of your skull. You want to go up and down more around your ear and find that tender spot. It's the bone, okay? Do the bone, because here's the thing: when people are, some ENTs, when they test your hearing, they use a tuning fork and they'll put it on this bone. They'll test your hearing, right? So if you press on this bone, it sends a message to your brain about, hey, let's communicate with my ear and let's stop creating that sound. Okay. So Dolores, let me know if that works. Okay. Because I know you tried the Dumbo ears. Let me know if it decreased it. Okay. Let's see who's next. Let's see who is next. We've got tinnitus. Okay. Joy. Headphones are going to do a bit of hearing loss. Oh no, this is Golisha. Golisha, I need major help with Hashimoto's, arthritis, and menopause. So Golisha, if you just came in a little late, rewatch this QRA live. I talked about the menopause, what you can do. And I'm thinking, if you can elaborate, what exactly of menopause do you need help with? Okay. But what I shared earlier on will help you. So Hashimoto's, right? Hashimoto's is very common these days, and a lot of uh, holistic practitioners are treating Hashimoto's, and they're all treating it the same way. A lot of time, it's just with supplements, and so you end up having to take a supplement for the rest of your life. Tons of supplements. One or two is okay. I take, one or two every day, but a lot of the even holistic natural practitioners, they're giving people buckets of supplements. So they're replacing one pill with another pill. But hey, if you're okay with that, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's not what I'm going to teach you. But Hashimoto's, you think it's most people are saying it's a thyroid problem. Yes and no, it's a thyroid problem. So Hashimoto's is the problem. So so earlier on, I showed you the formula on how I determine the root cause of any health condition. Okay. So we're going to start. Here's the problem. The problem is this: Hashimoto's. Hashimoto's is the problem. Your thyroid, your body, and what does that mean? Your body is attacking your own thyroid gland. Many endocrinologists do not do the antibodies test. So if you have a thyroid problem, you have fatigue, if you have a problem losing weight, you have, insomnia, you want to go to a endocrinologist and you want to ask them to test for your antibodies to your thyroid. It's called TPO antibodies or TG antibodies. So so Golisha has obviously been tested. So that's why she knows she has Hashimoto's. The body is attacking her thyroid. It's killing it, literally killing it. Okay. So then now we got to go back one step. Why is the body attacking the thyroid? It's not a thyroid issue sometimes. Okay. Actually, many times it's not a thyroid issue. So why is the body? So here's the thing. If everybody thinks, including holistic practitioners, they think it's a thyroid issue. So they give you supplements to improve your thyroid function. But guess what? It never fixes the problem because the root cause is not a thyroid issue. Thyroid issue, your body's attacking it. Okay. Why is your body attacking it? Your body's attacking it is because your immune system is identifying something is wrong. It's identifying your thyroid tissue is foreign when it's not foreign. Why is it doing that? Well, for many cases of Hashimoto's, it's because of a virus. So a virus, specifically the Epstein-Barr virus. So Galicia, I would recommend you go test for the Epstein-Barr virus. Okay, Epstein-Barr virus, it likes to make its home in the thyroid gland. It will just drill into your thyroid and it will make a home. And so your body identifies that virus is not, it is not part of the body. It is foreign. It is an enemy. So I need to go and kill it. I need to go and capture it. But here's the thing, the virus dug a deep hole into your thyroid gland. It made a home in your thyroid gland. So in order for your immune system sends these troops, and these troops are they're going to the thyroid. Okay. It's almost like a robber comes into your house and they sneak into your house and they lock all the doors, they lock all the windows. Well, the police, in order for the police to go capture that robber, they need to break down your door, right? Because otherwise, how are they going to catch the robber? So the police will come and break down your door. That's what your immune system is doing in your thyroid gland. It is breaking down the doors and the windows of your thyroid in order to go capture that robber, that thief, that virus. And in the meantime, while it's doing it, it's destroying your thyroid cells. Because like the police, they got to break down your door, so so they're destroying your house in essence in order to capture the robber, the thief, right? And if the thief is running around in your house, guess what? The police are going to shoot up your house to try to catch that virus. I mean, that robber and thief, right? So the same thing with Hashimoto's. Your immune system is trying to capture, so it's breaking down thyroid tissue to try to capture that virus. Okay, so that's what's actually happening. And so, so again, let's go backtrack. What's the root cause? The root cause, right, is your immune system first. It needs to make sure, well, it's not effective. It's not effective, right? Like if the police had just had a sniper from far away, they can just snipe, just one bullet, kill the robber or the thief, right? But your immune system is kind of like a bazooka. It just destroys everything just to get to this virus. And when it destroys everything, guess what? It causes more problems. Okay? It causes more problems. Uh, and so the root cause, I'm short on time, so I'm going to wrap this up. The root cause is your imbalanced immune system. But then even the root cause before that is what caused you to have the imbalanced immune system. Why is your immune system not functioning correctly? Why is it not functioning like a sniper versus functioning like a bazooka? You know, it's just hitting everybody, or a shotgun, right? That's what you got to fix. So it still comes back to lifestyle, right? It comes to lifestyle. What are the things that you did from your lifestyle that created your immune system to be imbalanced? Diet is one of the biggest culprits. What you put in your mouth is one of the biggest culprits. Okay. But so for what's the QRA for that? QRA for that is, if I imagine this is my head, this is my neck area, right? Where are your thyroid glands? Right here. So this is my neck area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push around my wrist area, push around you can go even down here, right? So from about here to here, you're going to go from here to here, and you're going to push all around, all around, all around. You can go here too. Push all around here. Like mine's pretty tender here. You're going to find that tender spot and you're going to dig in for 30 seconds. Okay. So every day, even, even throughout the day, just rub. This is QRA. Okay, this is not acupressure. This is QRA. So you're going to find and just dig in for 30 seconds in those areas. This is not going to fix your Hashimoto's. What it's going to do is it's going to move blood to your thyroid area. Why is it important? Because number one, your immune system has already damaged part of your thyroid. So it's going to help heal. Blood brings nutrients, and also blood brings new troops, and hopefully it'll bring some snipers instead of a bazooka, right? And so it will help repair the thyroid, but it's not going to fix it because you got to fix your immune system first. Okay. Galicia actually gave me some more information. 46-year-old, and I had a thyroidectomy. Oh, okay. I started with Graves. Ugh, yes. Yeah. So she had the opposite. Graves is hyper. The thyroid gland is probably from goiter, and hyperthyroid, which is it was spitting out too much. It was producing too much thyroid hormone. Yes, Galicia, she regrets it because all these changes happen yes, yes. We've treated many Graves' disease patients. Graves' disease actually is easier to treat than Hashimoto's. Actually, in our clinic, we have 100% success rate in treating Graves' disease. And what does that mean? We help the body. People who come in with Graves' disease, um, this is before they go and iodine radiate their thyroid gland. So I remember this one patient I treated before. She was in her 20s and she was great. She had Graves' disease, diagnosed with Graves' disease. Her thyroid was producing too much thyroid hormones, and her physician wanted to do the traditional route of iodine radiation to radiate her thyroid, which basically kill her thyroid and send her into hypothyroid. But her mom was a patient already of our clinic, and her mom told her to come to us. And we did treatments, and we reversed it. So she did not have to radiate her thyroid gland. Her thyroid is functioning by itself, even without us. And that's what I consider fixing. Fixing is you go and get a treatment, and then once you stop the treatment, the body's back healing itself. And that's what we've done with Graves' disease. 100% success rate. We reversed Graves' disease. Hashimoto's is really hard. Okay. All right. Um, Guys, thank you. Thank you for tuning in. For those of you who came in late, make sure you come in on time. So, I want to respect everybody's time. And so make sure you come in next week. I'm going to do the same thing. Hey, it's 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So watch the time zone. Sundays, I'm going to do this. Okay. QRA live. I think everybody likes this better than me talking about nutrition and all that stuff. But let me know in the comments. Do you like this QRA live versus me going over nutrition? Yeah, so let me know in the comments. All right, guys. Thank you for those of y'all. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. For those of you who came in late, go back and watch. Especially if you have hormonal imbalance, menopause, and I explained the formula of how to fix it. Okay, go earlier on. So thank you, everybody. Have a great day. I will see you next week. Peace.